8:15 start tomorrow night local time. That'll be 7:15 for you guys. But that's
Right.
still later. What do you do all day on Saturday?
Well, there's a lot of things that we do. We get up and we'll have our breakfast that morning, and then we have walkthroughs and meetings, and then we have a pregame meal and have another walkthrough, and then we head on over to the stadium. So we try to keep them busy, and then they'll lay around for a little while and watch some college football games.
Last week ended a couple streaks that your team's
Yeah.
certainly not proud of. First 2-game winning streak since 08, first
Right.
win on the road since 08, but it does say a lot about how your team's progressing.
Yeah, we are getting better. We have a better football team. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season. We just hadn't proved it on the scoreboard, and now that we have, you see a lot of people believing in what we're doing, and the young men are more rejuvenated, so to speak, and they're playing well and playing hard and excited about being here this Saturday.
What was the main thing that you wanted to see change in the program when you took over last year?
Well, some of the things that we needed to do, Coach Tomey had done a very good job there, but we were down scholarship limits, so we got the scholarships up. The recruiting trail, we went out and hit all of California and some other areas near the state, and I just really recruited hard. And then we implemented a year-round strength program and year-round academic program, and all of that is starting to pay process. And if you saw our team today at this same time last year, you would say, wow, you're like a total different team than we do physically, and we have more numbers. So we're just a better football team athletically.
And you also landed a good transfer for next year that'll certainly help the image of your program.
Yeah, we are. We're excited. We landed a good quarterback, and we also have another good freshman quarterback on campus. So we're excited about the future.
Mm-hmm. Brandon Rutley has kind of been your star there in the backfield. He was supposed to be a game time decision. Is he still a game time decision?
He's still a game time decision, and we'll see how he's looking out there. We'll actually work him out a little bit and see how he's ready to go. And he's played really, really well for us. But I'm not going to throw a young man out there that can't go 100%, especially at running back, especially with the size of BYU's defensive line. He could just get hurt worse.
How was his ankle held up this week in practice?
He has not practiced. He's just worked and rehabbed. And, it's kind of like I coached in the NFL for 5 years, and we did that a bunch of times. Guys wouldn't practice, and they'd work them out before the game, and they'd play them or not play them. And, he's a senior. He's played a lot of football. He understands everything that's going on. And, he's our main weapon on offense. So if he can go, we'll have him out there. If he can't, then we'll hold him out.
How do you game plan for a game like this when your horse in the backfield, you don't know if he's going to have him, and you don't even know who's going to play quarterback?
Right. It makes it tough. You have to just adapt when the game starts. You stay within your parameters, and then you'll tweak it to whatever happens. Whatever quarterback shows up, there's certain things they'll do on offense a little different. They're not drastically going to change their offense. Just both kids have a little bit different style. And then with us offensively, we've got 3 running backs that will rotate in and play if Brandon doesn't play, and we'll kind of do it by committee.
Last week was the first time you only went with 1 QB. Do you expect Faulkner to be the only guy tomorrow, or are you going to change it up a little bit?
No, we have Faulkner as a starter, and we want him to be able to play. It all depends on the flow of the football game. If we need a jump start, or we feel like we need to run the ball a little bit, or just on the flow of the game. Last week, everything was clicking smooth. We had some situations where we were thinking about bringing Dasman in our game plan, and we said, no, everything's running smooth. Let's just keep going what we're doing. So it just all depends on the flow of the football game, really it does.
You've changed things up at quarterback, and now you're having to prepare against a team that may do the same thing. What advantage does it give a team when you have, like you do, where you have 2 or 3 guys that can throw the ball?
Well, I think the advantage that it probably gives BYU is you have, Josh Heaps has a great arm, really good, I would say more of a pro-style quarterback, can run, can do some things. So that's a little bit more downfield passing attack maybe. When you have Riley Nelson in, they'll do the same things, but you really have to worry about him on the run. And he's able to run and create, kind of holds the ball, adapts. So there's 2 different styles there, but both of them are really good quarterbacks. Josh Heaps was phenomenal last year, especially late in the year, and then Riley Nelson was our WAC. When he used to be in the WAC at Utah State, he was a WAC Freshman of the Year. So I think whichever one plays for him, they've got good quarterbacks.
San Jose State beat him that year.
Yeah, they did beat them that year. I was not there. They did beat them, and I think that Riley was kind of in that young group that's kind of playing well for them now. And so it would have been interesting if Riley would have gone back to Utah State, how they'd be instead of them having to play a true freshman quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And what about for your team? What advantage do you get from having multiple guys that can play quarterback?
Well, I think it gives us the ability to throw a guy in there that's played some, and so you don't go out there and you're worried about him just going blank and being starstruck. And so I think that helps us not just fall off the table, so to speak. So I think the experience factors will help us if that happens. And if if Matt got hurt, we have a guy that's played some, and he played. His first start was in the Rose Bowl, and he did pretty good. And so I think he has a little bit of less of stage fright.
You've been bit, other than just Brandon Rutley, you've been bit by the injury bug a little bit this year, especially on defense. How is that? How's your team adapted to that?
Well, we keep working at it and trying to get better. We're not. What's funny, we have been bit by the injury bug a little bit, but last year we were destroyed by the injury bug. So we look at it totally different end of the spectrum. We don't think really much has happened, to be honest with you. But we did lose a very, very good corner in Brandon Driver, who is a kind of what you would call a lockdown corner. And we will miss Brandon. We have some other young men that can step in that have played and played a lot. Matter of fact, Ronnie Yell, who stepped in for him, has played quite a bit of football. And in the game last Saturday, he picked off the pass to seal the game. And so we have some experience there. Now, if we go a little bit deeper, then we'll be throwing guys out there that haven't played much. And so hopefully it stops at that point, especially at corner.
You got a couple guys with local connections, the Tupo brothers.
Yes.
What can you tell us about them?
Oh, they're great young men. I just met their whole family out there in the
his mom
Marriott
even works at BYU,
yeah.
so
Mom works
win for her tomorrow.
Yeah, undergraduate dean, associate dean or something of undergraduate studies, and I think she's worked there for 26 years. And yeah, they're great young men. We found David first, and then David tells us about his brother, and I was like, okay, bring me some tape. I thought, oh, that's good, but how could there be two that big and that good? And we watched Peter on tape, and I said, oh my gosh, he's really good. And
did you ask her what she was feeding him at home?
Yeah, exactly. And so we were able to get Peter right when he came back off a mission, and so we're really excited about having both of them. I think they're loving it. I don't think they ever dreamed they would be able to play together, and now they can. And they go against each other head on head in practice too. It's kind of funny sometimes. We tease them which one's going to win, but they're doing a good job for us, and we're really excited to have them on our team.
With Boise State moving on this year, and you look all across the board, the WAC championship is pretty much wide open to any team this year. What does San Jose State need to do to make that next step to be a top competitor in the conference?
Well, we need to win WAC games, and we have a big WAC game after this one Friday against Hawaii at home on ESPN. And so it's we've got, in 6 days here, basically, we've got two really big games against two really good football teams. And so we're excited about that. We've just got to keep progressing, and we're trying to just get better every week and try to build on the momentum that we have going.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.